You know, ladies and gentlemen, in situations like this where politicians and everybody like them are going to utilize this particular situation to essentially blame video games. This is my biggest concern when we look at situations like this where the psychopath that decided to off Charlie Kirk by the name of Tyler Robinson, I worry that him having Helldivers codes on the casings of his bullets that he used to take out Charlie Kirk is going to be quite destructive for the gaming community because as we are aware, and I don't know, maybe you're not aware, but apparently, RFK Jr. has already started his nonsense about trying to blame video games, right, for mass shootings. And it's when I see headlines like this, and again, we're going to get into this in this video, but when I see headlines like this, it's like, are we seriously trying to do this again? Are we trying to take one rampant like person out here who did something absolutely horrible that he deserves everything possible coming to him for? Are we seriously going to start blaming video games again? And this is why when I talked about these situations, no matter how much I detest what this man did, at the end of the day, I know that there are going to be people that are going to co-opt this and utilize this for their own agenda, left, right, and center, whatever that may be. It's all about to come down on video games at some point in time. So there's a post here over on X. It says from Know Your Meme, and it says casings. I'm sorry, from Tyler Robinson. Charlie Kirk's alleged shooter read, "Hey, fascist, catch." Up, right, down, down, down. The code references the Eagle 500 kg bomb stratagem from Helldivers 2, which became a viral meme tied to a powerful airstrike ability in the game. Now, I played Helldivers 2, obviously, and the big problem with Helldivers 2, and we're going to talk about their Reddit in a second. Their Reddit apparently is locked down, but the biggest problem with Helldivers 2 is the community that's in charge of it, right? Like, we had a big issue with the community managers over at Helldivers where they were banning people in Discord and everywhere else they possibly could. They were banning people because they didn't like their political opinions. They were banning people that would use vomit emojis. They were banning people for literally damn near anything if it went against their ideology, and it was a huge problem. And they got called out for it. I think somebody even got fired for it, but most of them are still there managing whatever community is left for this game. And this is a game that's growing, by the way. Like, it was initially losing people, and then when it came out on Xbox, it got basically resurged on Steam, and now it's well over 100,000 concurrent players on Steam again. So with all that being said, now we have this issue where some psychopath ends up putting something like this, in his crime scene, basically, and it becomes a big problem for gaming, right? People obviously don't like this, right? People obviously are going to call this out. Stupid shooter trying to ruin our wholesome game. Again, people, even the people who are in charge of the community over at Helldivers would call this an anti-fascist game. Like, that's what they tried to do. Anyway, so this whole thing, again, besides the whole thing is coming down. We got the Loondu Journal here. Shout out to him. The Helldivers subreddit has gone into lockdown. And apparently, the Helldivers community manager has also locked her account. This is Baskinator, Catherine Baskin. This is one of the people who was a big, big problem in this situation when the community managers were banning people. This person got called out multiple times, talked an immense amount of shit, and now they're locking their account. Very interesting. So apparently, it's worth noting that the Helldivers community, Reddit, Discord, etc., is incredibly left-leaning, as evidenced by the community manager's LGBTQ flag and pronouns in the bio. The funny thing is, she had a lot more in her bio, but she ended up deleting a lot of it during the initial backlash that Helldivers was getting during the PlayStation scandal when they were trying to make you sign up for PlayStation as a PC player. So if you look at this screenshot here, this is from the Helldivers Reddit account. It says Helldivers is locked temporarily. Request to post will be declined. They're probably deleting a lot of stuff, most likely, I gotta imagine. I'm sure that Reddit is filled with the same nonsense that's filled in most Reddits these days. Due to recent events and a high amount of posts about the topic, we will be locking the subreddit temporarily. We're aware of what happened. Our mod team doesn't condone it. In any case, posts and discussions about it are against this sub's rules regarding real-world political discussions. Any requests to post will be declined. Please be patient. Helldivers will reopen soon. I don't think they're going to reopen for a little bit. I think they're going to probably wait quite a while. They're probably going to wait a few weeks, if not probably even a month or so, before they open it back up. Because at this point, it's not looking good, right? Like, anytime something like this happens, they're going to come at you pretty quick. as fast as they possibly can. To be honest with you, they're going to come at you pretty quick, and they're going to look for something to blame. And right now, Helldivers is going to be one of those things that they're going to blame. It's unfortunate, but people obviously are saying, "Hey, fuck it, right? Burn this shit to the ground." So sick of game devs being full of these absolute "see you next Tuesdays." They're sure enjoyed right-wing dollars to save their asses when the left was trying to cancel Helldivers early on, but how easily they turn on you. Come on, man, it's a fun game itself. Again, nobody's talking about the game. Like, nobody's talking about how fun the game is or how fun the game isn't, right? Nobody's talking about that. What people are talking about is that the person, the killer, the assassinator of Charlie Kirk is the one who decided it was in his best interest to put something Helldivers related in his basically evidence. That's a bad, bad look, unfortunately. No matter how much you want to say and don't blame video games, and I'm with you, I don't blame video games. These people, these older people who don't know shit, they're going to look for something to blame, and they're going to use it as an excuse to blame video games. They say they don't condone it. Yeah, of course. They always say they don't condone it. These people who are hardcore leftists are always going to say they don't condone it, when we all know they do, but they use coded language to say, well, man, I'm not actually condoning it. I'm not actually saying that I do. Like, guys, we know that already. So what you're saying is we're doing the Lord's work. Opinions are mine happily includes her employer and titles in bio. Choose one shit post from a totally personal profile. You're a retard. Yeah, this whole nonsense about my opinions are mine, I can't stand it. I really can't. How many times do we see these people put opinions are mine in their bio as if that's going to protect them from their organization when the organization decides they're going to be the sacrificial lamb when there's backlash happening? Just because you put opinions are mine in my bio, just because you put my thoughts are my own in your bio, it doesn't matter, bro. I don't know how many times you have to tell these morons. They think that this is going to be some get out of jail free card. That's not the case at all. You are obviously free to have your speech. You are free to do, whatever, basically. But your company is also free to decide whether or not they're going to keep you around. And that's what's happening right now on the internet. A lot of people know this as a weapon. This is the same tools that leftist people were utilizing for many, many years. And now it seems like everybody else is doing the same thing on the other side. And now they want to complain about it. What happened to free speech? You killed it. You shot it. That's the problem. If you go here now, we're going to check out RFK Jr.'s article here. And this is where I heavily disagree with this. Again, this whole blaming video games nonsense has been proven time and time again to not be true whatsoever. But anytime something crazy happens, they're always going to try to utilize this as a reason to go after video games. RFK Jr. says mass shootings may be connected to video games, what the data shows. Yeah, let's see the data. U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy has suggested a causal link between mass shootings and the playing of video games, though countless studies over the years have failed to definitively connect the two when it comes to proliferation of violence. So, you mean to tell me that RFK Jr. study all of a sudden is the only study that showcases a link between video games and violence? That sounds awfully convenient. The Make America Healthy Again Commission on Tuesday released its Make Our Children Healthy Again strategy, described as sweeping plan with more than 120 initiatives to reverse the failed policies that fueled America's childhood chronic disease epidemic. Targeted executive actions include to advance gold standard science, realign incentives, increase public awareness, and strengthen private sector collaboration, per the HHS. But Kennedy has received criticism for how he's led the HHS, including firing over 600 Centers for Disease Control and Prevention employees and showing an ambivalence towards vaccines and vaccine mandates that last week even drew consternation from some Senate Republicans who challenged the former independent presidential candidate on not following through on his past assurances. He says that we're having mass offings every 23 hours, mentioning possible reasons as dependence on psychiatric drugs, video games, or social media. He said, I would say social media is probably a big cause of it, but that's because of the nonsense lies and rhetoric that gets posted on social media every single day. He said the National Institutes of Health is examining such root causes. He did not elaborate on why he brought up video games or what the connection could mean in the grander scheme of the conversation surrounding health and safety. We are initiating studies now that look at the correlation and the potential connection between over-medicating our kids and this violence, he added, on top of video games as well. So again, guys, this is going to be a major problem, right? This is going to be a major problem. If you're a gamer, you just realize that there are politicians out there that are going to try to utilize this unbelievable, terrible tragedy to try to come after something that they want to blame, whatever that may be. And video games are always the easiest target for a lot of these people. They're going to try to do this every chance they get, and it's unfortunate. But the truth is that these games are led by some of the worst people out there. They never want to admit it. They want to pretend to be moral superior, but they're not. These people are absolute psychopaths, and we saw this not even just like what 6 months to a year ago. I don't remember exactly what had happened, but when Helldivers first came out, a couple of months after, when they started the PlayStation requirement thing, and then got felted by PC gamers, everybody showed their true colors from the community over at Helldivers too. So at this point, I hope that's not what happens. I don't want this to happen. I don't want them to utilize this strategy to try to come after video games, but at the end of the day, we all know they're probably going to try. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below, and I will see you guys on the next one.